All right. There's going to be another one of those live streams where I didn't bother to plug in the mic, and it's going to be. But, oh, my space bar is getting all crappy. Okay, there we go. I'm torn about the vaxx and other related incidents. This is just more of me ranting and raving, as I do. But I'm going to put it this way. I did the other video talking about how vaccines were in Nazi Germany. In their case, it was more venereal diseases. And, obviously, getting the clap and stuff like that, right? So obviously, here in the United States, you had, numerous shots and everything else like that for VD, everything else. You get your hepatitis shot or all that, and all that type of thing. And you got your, what shot do you get for it? Hold on. Venereal disease shot. Oh, injection. Okay. So you get a ceftriaxone injection. Okay. So that was the time, right? And obviously, you think of that time, and, obviously this was a big factor no matter what. You can go ahead and watch that previous video that I recorded, which kind of explains some things, but I want to talk about being torn. Beyond, like I said, beyond internet commentators who I need to stop talking about, I'm not even going to get into who that was that I was upset about. I didn't bother to call them out because I didn't need that type of LARP. And shout out to AD for his comments. That baby big stuff does look hella sus. Hella sus what my man's talking about. So shout out to AD for that. But I wanted to say, there are so many questions that are not going to be answered right away. And even if they do get answered, it's going to be a minority of people that answer that question. And the real truth is not going to be revealed probably until long after most of us are dead. Maybe from the vaccines, who knows, right? Clearing up the whole Fort Detrick, Wuhan military exercise business, did that actually occur? Did the United States actually create COVID and bring it into Wuhan? Or was it Fauci, providing, I can't think of the term, I'm sorry. Maybe that vaccine gave him more Alzheimer's, I don't know. But what is the term? Oh my goodness. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the dead air, folks. I was gonna say lab leak hypothesis, yeah. But basically, did they actually have, did Fauci actually fund a place where they were doing research that they shouldn't have done, basically? Were they testing for COVID, and were they creating COVID viruses that they shouldn't have been? Now, obviously, this stuff isn't going to come out. China has things locked down tighter than a nun in a convent, probably on a Saturday night, probably. But there's a lot of questions that we're not going to get answered, and instead, people are going to make up shit. The truthers and the conspiracy theorists, who I used to follow to a point, will be correct in some aspects. There are going to be folks who are going to disappear, some folks that are going to mysteriously or are going to die in mysterious circumstances. Absolutely. That's what's going to occur. People who dig more into this and who try to figure out the truth of what happened in Wuhan or what happened at Fort Detrick in Baltimore, these people are going to disappear. But the thing is, though, as I've always said, is that should be a spur for you to do something. go off the grid or whatever the case may be. Not everyone has that luxury. Like I say, some of us are I'm too stuck in this system to do anything. But, there are a lot of questions unanswered, and they're not going to be answered by anybody. People still will say that, oh, yeah, well, Fauci, just because they paid for that research and everything else like that in mainland China and Wuhan doesn't mean anything, or whichever, right? And then, of course, we saw Biden's mandate where it's just like, you got to get the shots, this and that. And, he says eventually, our patients will wear thin. And it's just like, well, what does that mean? There were some genuine questions with that. And, of course, people are like, oh, well, we're going to fight back against it and everything. And there's a lot of, like I say, I've said this before about Americans. I'll say it again. We're great at talking shit. We're great at running our fucking mouths. But when it comes to actually doing something, they're too ingrained in the system. There aren't enough people that are willing to go off the grid and try to live out in the wild. There just aren't, in my opinion. There just aren't enough people that are willing to do that. I've lived that LARP too, but I know better. I live in Texas. It's 100-something degrees. There's no goddamn trees. I mean, at least not many, I'll put it that way. So why do you live in this fantasy where you're just like, yeah, I'm going to go off the grid, bro, and do all that, or I'm going to fight somehow? And it's just like, or doing this LARP like I'm going to go in without a mask and shit, or comparing, the virus or whatever, or comparing all this to the, to the Holocaust. It just makes you look like an idiot. And it makes you look worse. I know I'm pissing people off, and I'm sure people are going to be like, bro, this is cringe what you say. That's fine. That's fine. But I figure I'll get my opinions out there. I don't agree with what's happening. I don't agree with what Biden said. Not one iota. But the question is, are people willing to do something about it? Like I said, this is something that, the Ronan Report, screw it. I'll just give it away. The Ronan Report was saying the same thing. That's what Culture Thug was saying as well, right? That will this get people to do something? Will they start something about it? And who's going to lead them? I don't know. I just don't have much faith. I'm sorry. There's a lot of folks out there that are just, the black pill is heavy. Or the black pill just kind of sprinkles in, right? I am skeptical of a lot of things. I keep on, there's that one person there. How are you doing? Whoever that is. You can start typing. It's all right. I know I'm probably pissing people off with what I'm saying. I know people are going to be like, oh, man, why'd you say that, Uncle Thomas? You could have just kept your mouth shut. But I'm trying to be as honest as I can be. I'm trying to be honest. I'm frustrated. And I'm torn about this situation. Because I know, like I say, if we really want the truth, it's not going to come anytime soon. And it's going to be in some random book that's going to produce like maybe 1,000 copies or something like that. That, comes from years of research. We're talking like 20 or 30 years of research, maybe, give or take, like I say, maybe less. But all this research to, discover about, looking through Chinese records and looking through, records at Fort Detrick to figure out what the fuck actually happened. Where did it come from? And maybe this will help squash some of the truthers out there and a lot of these LARPers who get people caught up in this bullshit and keep them like a rat in a maze going through conspiracy theory that will lead them nowhere. The conspiracy theories lead you nowhere. This is the truth. They will lead you to nowhere. They will have you running around chasing your tail, and you will go nowhere with it. And they'll ask, well, what do you want to do about it? Well, I teach, I told my daughter about it, or I told this person about it. Are you going to go off the grid? Are you going to, live a different life? Well, no, like I say, I'm still, I'm still listening to this guy, whatever he's, but he keeps on telling that truth. So I keep giving him money. And that's sad. That's sad to me. That there are going to be people who are going to get caught up in this bullshit that their lives are not their own. And maybe my life isn't my own. I don't even know. I'm not even doing this to be dramatic. Maybe sounds like I'm reading from a script, but it's frustrating. Because that is just going to keep circling back around, isn't it? It's going to keep circling around. And like I say, we don't want, I don't want a war with China over this Wuhan stuff. The fact is that it's, I blame Fauci far more than I blame the Chinese. I don't even say that out of some, fetishism or whatever you want to call it, but I just say it more out of pragmatism. It's their, it's their folks. Man, I keep scaring the people away, don't I? Let me see. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I'm sure people are like, you're full of shit for doing this. And I probably am. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look right quick here. It's all right. Like I say, I know people are going to be like, shit for doing this. But whatever. Like I say, whatever. I know people are going to hear this and be like, why are you saying it like this? Why are you saying this? But I feel as if nothing else, I can be honest with you guys. I can be honest with the folks, the 25 or 30 people that are going to see this and be like, he's got a point. And that's all I want. And just for people to say, you know what? He's got a point. Just to give you some food for thought. That's all it is. There's a lot of folks that are upset. There's a lot of folks who are on the edge. And there are those of us who have just given in to the system. And it's sad. It is. That you have come to that point where you have sold out and you have just admitted that you are just merely a lackey of the system. And I wish I wasn't. There was a part of me that wish I could be like a rebellious person or whatever. And there are a lot of Americans, I'm sure, that wish that they could just go off and try to, hack it out there in the woods or whichever, right? But they're scared because they don't know anything. And, like I say, this vaccine stuff, it's coming out, et cetera, et cetera. And you just, where do we go from here? I know I've asked that question several times in these videos, but like, where do we go? What'll happen? Like I say, I wish I could just say, oh, well, a civil war will just make it all better. No, it won't. It'll kill millions of people. But it'll break up the United States. And of course, now, the narrative is like, you can't just be anti-American. You can't just be blindly anti-American. You have to support Rojava and all that. Like I say, this is the narrative that exists today, right? Amongst the so-called, intelligent commentators on YouTube. And I just can't go down that route. But I also can't go down the route of these other, like I say, for lack of a better term, these wignats who are like, yeah, I'm not going to get the shot, this and that. But then we'll talk shit about Republicans and say, oh, well, these Trumpers or whatever. It's like, you realize that you're going to be seen as the same, you're going to be, you're going to be placed in the same boat as they are, right? You're going to be seen as the same ones that are taking horse meds for COVID, right? Why do you want to be in the same box as them? That's my question. You can oppose it and you can question where the, where it came from, this net. NCBI. Oh, okay. Nicotine is a possible treatment. Omitted info to Forks vaccine. Yeah, that could be an idea. I was just going to say, man, it's very frustrating. And there's a time when it's like, maybe this goes back to what I've said before, maybe, is that there was a time when pretty much everybody had the same belief, right? Or they had the same set of beliefs. But nowadays, it doesn't really happen that way. There's no clear vision, or there's no clear idea of where we should go and what we should truly believe, right? As a society. And we're getting this, and even within, the progressive movement, they don't see eye to eye. And when you see these other folks, and you realize just what a broken society we live in. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. That video that I put up, yeah, like I said, that, the title was a little more nasty than it should have been. Yeah. Ain't shit going to happen. People know people don't even know their neighbors. Yeah. When they want to start political movements, yeah. Ain't shit going to happen. Yeah. That's how I feel too. I think that's all I got, though. I know that's, like I say, I apologize if I rubbed people the wrong way for that video. Mentioning why do Wignats oppose vaccines. Mention honey thing is a PSA. Oh yeah, you can't give a baby honey because they are higher risk for getting infant. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I had that as a comment before, 80. Just in case you do hear this. I did see that in a little blurb type of thing. But yeah. mRNA vaccine thing is a vaccine that's the issue. Also, while I'm not saying is good for COVID, it is rated for human consumption. The only difference is dosage and inactive ingredients, but they are the same as human antibiotics. The idea people have is that some anti-parasite medicine, antiviral properties, and to be fair, there are some studies that show there might be promise. Yeah, like I say, I don't know. It's like I say. I figure I would talk about this. I knew it would stir up a bit of a hornet's nest, but I felt that it had to be said. That's how I feel about that. Yeah. But that's my feeling about it. Yeah. Yeah. But that's true though. Yeah. Like I say, I'm just gonna leave it there. I guess we're just doomed. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say doomed. I guess the way it looks right now is that we are stuck in this whole little thing, and there's no real way out, is there? That's how it feels. I guess there's no real way to escape this thing. I don't know. Maybe I've just swallowed all the black pills. Anyway, I'm going to stop being black pilled and just say, you know what, folks? I hope y'all enjoy I hope y'all enjoy your day or night, whatever time it may be, and get along to get along. If you're going to go off the grid and try to survive on your own, go for it. I wish you the best of luck. If you're going to make it in this system and if you're going to fight it regardless, I wish you the best of luck. That's all I got. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this or at least got some notion out of it. So got some sort of, maybe you got angry from it. That's good too. I'm glad y'all got angry from it to say, you know what? You're full of shit. And I hope you do say that. I hope you say, God damn it, Uncle Thomas, you're full of shit. You sound like a cuck. You sound like a pussy. And I hope y'all do say that about me. That's okay. At least you have some sort of feeling. By having that feeling, having that pit of anger in your stomach, it goes to show that you got some fight left in you. And if you got that, then maybe you can push forward with something else. Not advocating anything, but do what you got to do. Anyway, see you later. A goodbye.